How would you say he doesn't want to buy water because he buys tea?
Hän ei halua ostaa vettä, koska hän ostaa
Teetä. Hän ei halua ostaa vettä, koska hän ostaa teetä. What was the word ting?
Thin.
Ting, not tin, but ting like book or...
Okay. Asia.
Yes, Asia. So the word Asia, the continent, is the same word as Asia, but you have two A's at the beginning. How is that?
Aasia.
So you can think it's an Asian thing. It's Chinese thing to remember that the Asia is Asia and not, let's say, it's not television or some other word, it's Asia. But how to keep these from each other in a sense that you don't mess them up, Asia and Asia. First off, which one of them is longer?
Tingo. The Asia.
Asia, that's the continent.
That one's the continent.
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking
so
the other way
you
around.
were already messing them up.
Yeah.
But to remember them, if you think about Asia as a continent, it's a huge continent. It's a huge continent. And if you take a look at which one of the words is bigger, Asia or Asia, which one is bigger?
Asia.
Yes, so the 2A's version is the continent, because one continent is bigger than one book, and so this is one way to keep them in their places, Asia and Asia. How would you say, do you have knowledge of or from this thing? Knowledge was tieto. So first of all, do you have knowledge? How is that?
Do you have knowledge?
Yes, do you have?
Onko sinulle tieto?
Onko sinulla tietoa? Yes. Why is it uncertain?
How many knowledge we don't know?
Yeah, we cannot count it. Do you have knowledge of, or in Finnish, from this thing? What was the word this, or the first syllable of this?
Se.
Se is it, but...
Yeah. This.
This, you can find it from mitä, take off the mi, and you have it.
Sitä.
No, mitä. Take off the mi. And tää, yes. So that, tie with two dots, is the first syllable for this. So what is from this?
Tästä.
And from this thing?
Tästä asiasta.
Tästä asiasta, yes, with one A. Tästä asiasta, not tästä Aasiasta. Tästä asiasta. How would you say, I don't have knowledge of this thing?
Ei ole minulle tietoa tästä asiasta.
So now it became a kind of salad. So now you had to me. I don't have. How is that?
Ei ole.
I don't.
En ole.
That is, I'm not. First,
Okay,
I have.
Minulla on.
And now instead of having on, you have negative. It is not, but without the word it. So,
Ei.
A and I form minus N.
Ei ole.
And I don't have.
Ei ole minulle.
No. First off, it's not minulle, it's not
minulle.
to me. And you put that first.
Minulla ei ole.
Minulla ei ole. And knowledge.
Tieto. Minulla ei ole tietoa
tietoa from or of this thing.
Tästä asiasta.
And how would you say I don't have knowledge of that thing from it thing?
Minulla ei ole tietoa siitä asiasta.
So as you said tieto with two O's, this is really the form that you will hear in the spoken language. So tieto, uncertain state in spoken language is usually, instead of adding an A, you will double the last vowel. Like in tieto, if we added an A there, we would have tietoa. But if you double the last vowel, we have tieto. So in spoken language, you will hear, instead of an A there, you will hear a last vowel of the word getting doubled. Like we have seen in the spoken language, haluta, haluan becomes haluun. It's easier to keep your mouth in the same position. So we can see that why such a thing as uncertain state, which is used all the time, instead wants to make the last vowel double, tieto instead of tietoa, because you don't have to change the mouth position. What was the car's uncertain state? Plural.
Plural, autoja.
Autoja. So in spoken language with these JA endings, you can hear the A dropping out in some dialects. How is it?
Autoi.
Autoi. But you don't have any need to use J anymore. So how is it?
Auto.
So in autoja, you take off the A and you have only two vowels.
Autoi.
Autoi. Autoi, you can hear autoi, this is the plural uncertain state. You don't need the J because if you drop the A, you don't need it anymore. So autoja, autoi. And how would it be car, singular uncertain state in spoken language? Instead of autoa, you have
Auto.
auto. Yes, very good. So let's get back into the thing. How would you say, do you have knowledge of that thing?
Onko sinulle?
Not to you, but
Onko sinulla?
onko sinulla or sulla in spoken language?
Onko sinulla tietoa?
Tietoa or in spoken tieto.
Onko sinulla tietoa?
Of that thing or from that thing.
Tästä.
From that, from it.
Okay, siitä.
Siitä, yes. No, instead of sestä, sistä, we have see. And thing, from thing.
Asiasta.
Asiasta. Do you have knowledge of that thing altogether from the beginning? Not memorizing, but thinking it through again.
Onko sinulla tietoa tästä asiasta?
But from that thing.
Okei, onko sinulla tietoa siitä asiasta?
Very good. Onko sinulla tietoa siitä asiasta? In spoken language you hear. Onko sulla tieto siitä? So when you have TA, you can hear the A dropping in those cases as well. Siitä or siitä asiasta. And with these STA or STA with two dots endings, you can hear the A dropping here as well sometimes in some dialects. So how would that be? Asiasta and drop the A. Asiast. So we have the hard T telling that it's from asiast. Mm-hmm. Onks sul tieto tästä asiasta? So you can hear even more extreme version. So sulla, you can hear the LA of that again dropping out, but we're going to discuss the spoken language in better detail very soon. But first off, what would be the word manual?
The manual.
Manual in Finnish.
Manuali.
Manuali. So the word manual is really something that we do with our hand. When you're doing something manually, you're doing it with your hands. No, there's not some machine doing it. And of course, it is related to the word hand, but the Latin version of hand. So the Latin word for hand is manus, manus. In Italian and in Spanish, you can hear mano. What has happened to manus when it changed to the Spanish version, mano?
They remove the S one.
Yes, and what happened to the U?
The U, O, it became O.
Yes, the closest sound. It became the closest sound. So the manual and manual, manipulate, manner, manage are all related to the word hand. So manage, or the more everyday version, handle. Handle, of course, it has the word hand in there. So handle, and of course, when you're manipulating someone, you are putting your nose or your hands to the thing, and we can see how this word is related to word hand, to the manus or mano. And I really encourage you to listen to the Spanish or other language courses of languagetransfer.org, because there's so many Latin-based things in English that have joined English through French. And when you listen to those language transfer courses, you start to see these things everywhere, and you will really start to understand how these words are built. So if you see a new word, you might guess, for example, its meaning. And that's really something that I fell in love with when I was completing the Spanish course. And you see these things like manual in many, many languages, and then you understand what they mean. So I highly recommend checking out the languagetransfer.org one day if you feel like it.
Yes, I will.
It's a website where I learned Spanish and other languages, and I really started to understand Finnish rather than memorize it. So I finally started to understand my own mother tongue because of that, because of Mihalis Lefterio, because of the teacher of the site and the voluntary students who have been creating the courses. I really started understanding the Finnish. First off, what is the word for this? Or in other words, what is the syllable for the word this?
For this.
First syllable for this.
In English or
In Finnish, in Finnish.
Ta.
Ta, TA with 2 dots. What could be tease? Tease. So if the word toes or that, so the word that was created of word it, and those was created of te, ne. What do you think is the word that we are going to use to create the word tease? So it's the same word as with toes.
They?
Yes, te objects. The word this, the first syllable was ta. So this is not se. But the plural form is created of the word te. And what was the te objects?
Ne.
Ne, N-E. And as it's neutral and takes the dotted group, we don't have ne and we don't have te, but we have ta, ta with 2 dots. So what would be the first syllable for tease? Instead of ta, we have
Na.
na, na with 2 dots.